Okay, so Apple has had their event where they presented the new iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. A very long name. I don't like that name. I don't know why Apple couldn't just name them iPhone 11, iPhone Pro and iPhone Pro Max, because they have the Max and they have the iPads already with that naming. You have the iPad and you have the iPad Pro and you have the MacBook and the MacBook Pro. So why not do the same with the iPhone? But other than that, Apple also presented a new Apple Watch and they also presented a new iPad and a lot of other stuff. So let's start by seeing what Apple first presented. That was a new iPad. The new iPad has a 10.2-inch display and that is really great, but the best thing with this iPad is the price. Because the price for this new iPad is only $329 US, and that's very, very cheap. Yes, I know this iPad is not the best processor and so on, because that is what the iPad Pro is for and so on. But with that price, a lot of new users can buy an iPad, and this iPad will be perfect for all things that most users use their iPad for. There is not many other that needs the high performance from an iPad Pro, because this new iPad can even use the new Files app with support for external hard drives and so on quite easily, because they show that on the event actually. So the iPad for $329 US is a very, very good price. And now when we talk about price, I can say that I early saw in this event that the theme for the whole event will be price, because Apple has got some critics that the iPhone XS Max that I have and so on is very, very expensive, and the new Macs are very expensive and so on. So I saw earlier that this event will focus on price, and for every new product Apple presented they have an alternative that was very cheap. So this iPad is the option you should go for when you will buy an iPad quite cheap. And it's, to be honest with you, I think this is worth it. I'm so close to buy this iPad instead of the iPad Pro because it's so cheap. And after that, they also presented a new Apple Watch Series 5, and this watch I desperately want, even if I bought this Apple Watch Series 4 just 6 months ago. I really want the Series 5, and only for one reason, and that is an always on display. I have an Android Wear watch, a Huawei watch that has always on display, and Android Wear watches has had that for many years now, but Apple has never done an always on display on the Apple Watch until now with the Apple Watch Series 5. And that display is awesome, how the always on display works, because it only uses 1 bitrate, 1 hertz when having that always on display on, so it doesn't drain your battery at all, so you actually have the exact same battery life as on the Series 4 that I have. So that Apple Watch Series 5 with an always on display would look really cool, because you have the different watch faces from Apple and so on. You can have that watch always on, and all people around you see your cool new watch, and you can even buy the ceramic one or the titanium one for a lot of money and go around and be proud of your new really cool watch with an always on display. So that watch is awesome. I really want the Apple Watch Series 5 actually, because I really want it. I need it, but this watch is only 6 months old, so I don't know yet how to do this. And after they presented the Apple Watch Series 5, they announced that they will keep the Apple Watch Series 3, and that watch will be a lot cheaper to buy. So that watch you can actually buy for $199, and that's very, very cheap. So if you want a cool Apple Watch, you can actually buy the Apple Watch Series 3 now for $199. I think that's amazing. So once again, the focus on this event was on price. You see the theme here. And by the way, Apple Series 5 starts at $399, so it's not so expensive. You can actually buy that quite easily too. But the comparison to Series 3, that's a lot of money in the difference there. And they also presented the new service Apple TV Plus. And there is a lot of new series that Apple has worked on and so on, and it's clear that they will compete with Netflix actually. So Apple TV Plus will be a Netflix competitor in the future, and the price was awesome for this service, only $4.99 a month, so about $5 in the month, and that is very, very cheap. Again, I mean $5 in the month, and Netflix is a lot more expensive, at least here in Sweden, so this is a very good price. Then they started with the iPhones. First they presented the iPhone 11, and that is the next step from iPhone XR that we have today. So the iPhone 11 will replace that phone, but not exactly replace it, because Apple will keep the iPhone XR too with a lower price. The price for the older iPhone XR will be $599. So the price for iPhone XR is very, very good. But now when we talk about price and cheap and so on, when it comes to iPhones, they will not only keep the iPhone XR, they will also keep the iPhone 8 with a even better price. So if you want to buy a really good iPhone, you can buy the iPhone 8 now. And the iPhone 8 will only cost $499, and that's a very, very good price. And the iPhone 11 will cost $699, and that phone, the iPhone XR, actually is the most popular iPhone Apple sell. So the new iPhone 11 will probably be the most popular iPhone this time too. But other than that, they also presented the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And that is one step up from last year, iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max. And these two phones looks great. They have a new coating on the back side, so it will not be so slippery and so on. And the green version they presented, a new color, looks really great. I love that new green color. And the camera is awesome with 3 cameras on the back and so on, and they have a front camera. And when we talk about the camera, they presented the app Filmic Pro. And when that app was presented, I think that was amazing, because Filmic Pro will be able to use all the cameras on the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Max Pro. So it basically can film with 3 cameras on the back and 1 camera on the front at the same time. So seriously, you can do a lot of cool YouTube videos by doing that, because the one camera will film in widescreen, wide angle, and one with 2x focus, for example, and one camera with a normal zoom and all that, and the front camera will record yourself. So by then editing these videos, you can do really cool videos. So that was amazing to see that Filmic Pro can do this, film, record video with all cameras at the same time. Other than that, the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max have a much faster CPU and all that. So faster CPU and a better camera and a new coating on the back is what is new with the iPhone 11 Pro actually. But you also have a new chip in it that is called U1, and that chip is a locator chip to be able to see what different gadgets and stuff is. So for example, if you have a home at home and all your family members have a phone with an U1 chip in it, you can actually point your iPhone to a person and send, for example, photos, your contacts and so on. So you can send data to a person by just pointing at that person. So that is how good this chip is to know where you're pointing at and so on. So in the future, Apple will implement this chip in a lot of different devices and all that, and you will be able to track them and see where exactly where these devices are and so on. So this new chip is only built into the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So that is what's new with the iPhone 11 Pro really. And the prices for the iPhone 11 Pro is $999 and the price for the iPhone 11 Pro Max is $1,099. So about the same prices as last year, but maybe a bit cheaper, I don't know. But in Sweden they will probably cost about the same as the iPhone XS and the iPhone XS Max did. But as I said, they will also keep the iPhone 8 for $449. That's very cheap. So this was about it, what Apple presented on the event, and to me personally I think the most interesting on the event was the Apple Watch Series 5 and what Filmic Pro could do with the iPhone 11 Pro, using all the cameras at the same time. I think those things was the most impressing things. All other stuff was not so interesting actually, but I think the focus here was on price, because Apple has got some critics about how expensive their devices are. So as you can see, all the categories of devices had an alternative that was very cheap. So I think Apple is onto something here, because their devices can actually last for so many years now. So it doesn't matter if you buy an iPhone 8 today very cheap, you can have it in a at least 3 to 4 years, I think, even if you buy an iPhone 8 today. So that's what's good with Apple devices, they can last so long. Okay, so that was about the Apple event yesterday. Okay, bye.